Day 649 of doing a LeetCode problem every day until I get a job. All right, y'all, we're back again. Another day, another LeetCode problem where we're doing daily LeetCode problems. And today we have question number 925, long press name. The difficulty level is easy, so you already know we're going to keep the solution as simple and easy to understand as possible. But before we get started, y'all, don't forget to like, hype, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you need any new Apple AirPods, go on and check out that link in the description so you can get you some. Now let's see what the question says. Your friend is typing his name into a keyboard. Sometimes when typing a character C, the key might get long pressed and the character will be typed one or more times. You examine the typed characters of the keyboard, return true if it is possible that it is your friend's name with some characters, possibly none, being long pressed. All right, y'all, so that sounds simple enough, but let's go ahead and take a look at these examples anyway, just to make sure that we are doing this problem correctly. So, in example 1, we have our input name equals a string Alex, and typed equals a string Alex with 2 A's and 2 E's. The output is true. Explanation says A and E and Alex were long pressed. So as you can see, this is the name that we start with right here, and when we type the name, all of these characters could possibly be the person typing these characters could possibly be trying to type Alex, and he just may have accidentally typed A too many times or tapped E too many times. But in the end, you can tell that he was trying to press Alex, or he was trying to type Alex, but he just long pressed a few keys and he got this instead. So let's take a look at example 2 where it's flipped and the person typing did not long press and he actually didn't press the keys enough. So in example 2, the input name equals Saeed and the type equals the string SSAAEDD, right? And this time the output is false. It says the E must have been pressed twice, but it was not in the typed output. So in this case, the name is Saeed, right? So the name has 2 E's. Maybe type the E once, or maybe typed an extra E accidentally, or maybe he didn't, right? Maybe this is just the real spelling of his name. However, over here, we have Saeed, but it's only 1 E. So there's no way that this E could have been long pressed when we're supposed to have 2 E's, right? So over here, it should be at least 3 E's. But since there's only 1 E, that means it couldn't be long pressed. It was actually under pressed because there needs to be at least one other E. As you can see, the S was long pressed. The A was long pressed. There's only 1 E, right? So how can this E be long pressed, right? With this E could be long pressed or this E could be long pressed, but either way, neither one of them were long pressed, and one is missing. So that's where this falls short at, and that's why the output is false, because we're missing an E from Saeed over here. So we know that it wasn't long pressed. Boom. So I hope that makes sense to y'all. And now that we understand the question, let's get into the fun part, the actual solution. Solution is not that difficult at all. So let's get into it. Now, the first thing we want to do is we want to convert both strings into arrays of characters, and this is going to allow index access instead of Swift string indexing. So we're just going to come right here, declare a variable called name. We'll turn that into an array by saying equals array, open up the parentheses, pass in name. Then we're going to do the same thing for types. Sorry, this should be a constant, not a variable. So we'll say let typed equals, same thing, an array, open up the parentheses, pass in typed. Boom. Now we need a pointer for the name array. So we'll declare a variable called name, set that equal to 0. Or not name, because we already have a constant called name. We could just call this n. Then we can declare another variable called t, set that equal to 0, and that will be our pointer for the typed array. Now we need to iterate through each and every character in typed. So we're going to say while t is less than typed dot count. We'll open up the brackets. And for case 1, we're going to handle if we still have characters left in name and the current characters in both arrays match, then we're going to move both pointers forward. So we'll say if n is less than name dot count, comma, name square bracket n equals typed square bracket t. Then we'll come right here, open up the brackets, say n plus equals 1, say t plus equals 1. Boom. Then for case 2, we need to handle if the current type character is the same as the previous one. This represents a valid long press. Else, we're going to move only the type pointer forward. Or not else, but we're going to, that's going to represent the long press, and we're going to move the type pointer forward. So we're going to say, well, actually it is else, because we're going to say else right here. Else if t is greater than 0, comma, typed square bracket t, come outside of that, equals typed square bracket t minus 1. Then we're going to come outside of that, and we're going to say t plus equals 1. And then for case 3, if the character doesn't match name and isn't a valid long press and it's impossible to form name from type, then we could just say return. So we could come right here and say else, open up the brackets, we could say return false, y'all. Boom. But we're not done yet, because it's only valid if we matched all characters in name. So extra characters in type must have been long pressed. So we're going to come right here and we're going to say return n equals nums.count, y'all. Boom. Let's go ahead and give this a run. Make sure it runs properly. Okay. Oh, sorry, not nums.count. I'm moving too fast, y'all. Name.count. Boom. Let's give it a run. See if that did the trick. It's accepted, so let's go ahead and submit it. Make sure it's still accepted after we submit it. And look at that, y'all. 0 milliseconds beats 100% of users. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'd like to see, y'all. So with that being said, y'all, I hope y'all learned something today, and I hope to see y'all here tomorrow for another day, another LeetCode problem. See y'all then.